Alright guys, welcome back to the GSL. We've got 3 more matches for you guys. First up, we're going to have Boxer against Cezanne. Like I said earlier, it's a really important match for Boxer. He's got to win it if he wants to be able to get out of, get back to the up and downs through. If Boxer wants to advance to Code S again and go through the up and down, if he wants to complete his run through the up and down matches, go to Code S, sit in the Code S chair, be casted by Nick and Dan. If he wants to do all of those things, he's got to win this match. We're going to take a look at our current scores, which you guys have probably been keeping up to date on. Obviously, Genius 4-0ing. He's done, man. He's out of this. He's already in Code S. Quite a genius indeed with his strategies. Obviously, Boxer and Tasia tied up right now. So Boxer has to win against Cezanne. If he doesn't, then Tasia will automatically have a better score. If Tasia wins his next match and they're tied, because Boxer was able to defeat Tasia, then Boxer will actually advance instead of Tasia.
That's perfectly right.
And as far as ASD goes, of course, he needs to win his final match against Tasia.
Should be really interesting. The match between Tasia and ASD will be a really, really important one. We're not going to
play Squirtle against Genius because Genius is already out. It's not. There's neither. Genius cannot get out of Code S and Squirtle cannot get into Code S, so it's completely pointless. So you can write that match off your list. So of course, Boxer versus Cezanne first. If Boxer wins, then he's up 1. If Tasia wins the final match, then he will. Basically, for Tasia to get into Code S, Boxer has to lose this match.
Yeah. If Boxer wins against Cezanne, Tasia can't get into Code S.
Yeah, it's actually true. So this is I guess our final match.
How did Boxer against ASD go, though?
Boxer against ASD.
Well, there it is. We have Boxer. ASD won. So if Boxer wins, Tasia has to defeat ASD
for Boxer to still get in.
Code S.
Okay, so it's a funny situation we have. Okay, so 2 players are going to be playing matches against their opponents who no longer have an opportunity to stay in Code S, assuming the Boxer wins his first game. So it's actually a funny situation we have, Kaldor.
Yeah, if Slayer's Boxer wins this, ASD has to lose. So Tasia can basically help his teammate by winning that match against ASD. And if Tasia loses, if ASD wins,
then Boxer can't do anything about it, he just will not be in.
ASD has to win this match if he wants to advance.
Alright, our map is Crossfire. As we mentioned earlier, let's stop talking about what is or what can happen. Let's talk about what is happening. It's Boxer against Cezanne. Cezanne going to do his final stand here. We'll see if he can stop the Emperor from getting into Code S.
There he is at the top right of Crossfire. The Emperor starting in the red colors, the Terran player also known as
Slayers Boxer.
If he loses this game, he won't be able to advance to Code S, and his opponent is already down to Code A. It is
Cezanne.
Cezanne lost 3 games. He was only able to decide 1 in his favor, and this ZBT will decide if Boxer still has a chance of advancing or if he will be stuck in Code A in the next season.
Ooh, he's got a mouse pad with him.
With whom? I couldn't read that fast.
I didn't even notice anything. I just saw the mouse pad down there as I looked over. But Boxer building his first barracks on the low ground. Not uncommon for Boxer to do things like this. I'm really curious to see what build he's going to do. This is obviously a very important match for Boxer, so I don't think he's going to try to do something too crazy. We won't see any Reaper shenanigans, I don't believe. Just wants to put a little bit early Marine pressure on, like we saw many Terrans do in the past, and sometimes, as we saw just last game with Tasia, you can finish the bunker sometimes if your opponent does not assess the situation correctly.
Cezanne had a little bit of a hard time against Tasia on Tal'Darim Altar. Slayer's Boxer now wants to basically get the same result. He really needs that win.
Yeah, and gas and pool going down now for Cezanne. I'm really curious to see what Boxer's going to do with this barracks pressure. I think it's just going to be very similar. Yeah, he just makes the first Marines action to lift up now. Probably make a reactor, start his factory.
Cezanne taking the main base, and Cezanne with obviously once again the hatch first, going for the pool. He's harvesting gas, will get speed.
And Boxer making the factory, just putting on that one Marine pressure. Not going to be able to get this Overlord, although he may try. Just going to scout with this Marine, an aggressive scout. He actually can kill a drone, or force the drone at least to run away. The drone did run away.
A little bit scared.
Yeah.
2 queens at a time now. First 4 Zerglings, that's all he needs in order to occupy the Xlanaga Watchtower. Slayer's Boxer is going for the bread and butter build. He is going for Reactor Factory Hellions and expanding.
Making his command center already on the low ground. That's what he wanted to see. What kind of build is my opponent doing? Oh, he went to hatch first. Well, he can make this on the low ground just fine. Smart little scout. His Marine is going to get home as well, so losing nothing. The Zerglings may barely catch it. Doesn't look like it. They're going the wrong direction. He's going to check the watchtower first, so the Marine will absolutely escape. Tech Lab going down, of course, now for Boxer as well. Going to switch.
Oh, his base is open. Oh.
Yeah, a little bit exposed, but the Zerglings actually did not scout. They went to the watchtower and went home. The Zergling on the watchtower actually cleaned up now by Boxer's Hellion. So Cezanne, very in the dark. He does have an Overlord to check for the expansion, but he's not close enough to see it.
Love to get it. Now the Overlord is just checking. Did he see that? I think he did, but not 100%
No,
sure.
he didn't. He actually went to check the location where the command center would be if Boxer built it on the high ground, but Boxer's built it on the low ground. So Cezanne may be freaking out right now thinking it's a one base all in, when in reality there's just a command center there.
Exactly. That's a problem for him, because the main problem, well, there are no SCVs mining. He has a good vision on those minerals at the right side, so he knows as soon as the
Notice Boxer's mining on the left side, actually, so that he can now just barely see. Boxer's actually mining from the left side so that the Overlord wouldn't see it originally. That's really smart. Just little things like that that puts Boxer ahead of other players, makes him more creative, more smart, some might say.
We have more drones now being built for Cezanne. He's trying to get additional Zerglings to deal with the Hellions. And of course also in another SimCity build we have the Evolution Chamber being placed so that the Hellions cannot sneak behind the mineral line.
Yeah. Cezanne way ahead in workers right now, about 11 ahead. 6 more about to pop out in fact, so...
Boxer's getting additional add-ons right now. He's researching Stim, he is going for another barracks. And we have the +1 armor upgrade for his opponent. Cezanne trying to get a fast +1 armor. That's something that players like Stefano do quite a lot. He was one of those guys who tried to do that first, because until a couple of weeks ago, most Zerg players went for +1 attack, trying to maximize the damage output. But with the +1 armor upgrade, you can actually dodge siege tank damage a little bit. You won't die by... siege tank won't be able to one-shot you.
Yeah, it does protect them quite a bit, and 3 more extractors coming down for Cezanne right now.
Boxer's going for the blue flame upgrade, and also for the 3rd base.
Yeah, the 3rd base is pretty sneaky. The problem is Cezanne still has that Overlord in play. If he goes south even a little bit, he will see that. See the minerals mining, for example. Armory on the way for Boxer, so it looks like we're going to start seeing... well, no, actually, Engineering Bay going down as well. I thought perhaps we would see some mech-oriented play, but quick armory out. It may just get 1 fast Thor. Or, excuse me, I meant to say, I was thinking like that's a possibility, but actually, of course, it's just for +1. I'm like trying to come up with every opportunity to think of a reason why the armory wouldn't use its primary function. I'm like, well, maybe he just likes the way armories look. I don't know.
Well, we have Boxer now still with that expansion. If he's able to pull off that expansion play, then he is really ahead of his opponent, because so far Cezanne didn't even try to get the 3rd base. Now just getting the hatchery at the bottom right. I'm kind of interested in what Boxer is going to do in regards to the upgrade at the command center that he just built. Is he going for the orbital, or will he try to get the planetary? That's another reason why he might just have to try to get the engineering bay.
Oh wow, cleaning up a ton of Zerglings with those Hellions.
The first Thor, you were spot on, by the way.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. He did not want to get the +1 immediately. He wanted actually to get that quick Thor. It does strengthen his ability to push like this. I really like that.
And he built the engineering bay to get access to the planetary fortress upgrade, which he's doing right now. Attacked by Boxer, though. One of the Spine Collars already gone. Is Cezanne dying to that attack? Blue Flame is done. He doesn't have roaches. He's relying solely on Zerglings, and Zerglings don't stand a chance against this amount of Hellions.
Yeah, he's got Banelings on the way, but they're going to be slow Banelings, and with good micro on the Hellions, he should be able to clean those up quite easily.
Oh, not paying attention though, trying to split his army. The Marines are moving back. The Hellions taking down the Banelings. Cezanne is losing so much right now.
Yeah, Cezanne losing his last Baneling there. The Queen very low on hit points. He may actually follow up with Hellions. No, decides to turn around and go home. He did a decent amount of damage. He's now got a third base up. He's got a macroed up force back at home, even having a Thor there. And that planetary up and running, he's mining there just a little bit, but he's going to slowly get more and more workers there, add gases there, add more production. He's already got a second factory on the way. And Cezanne's bottom right base could be subject to a timing attack.
The Mutalisks are being built now, 9 in total, but he already has a Thor. He has a Thor and Marines, still those Blue Flame Hellions going strong. Boxer is ahead in supply, 101 against 87. He's getting additional Thors, +1 attack for his mech army. He's in a really good position. Resources lost. Boxer only 1,000, while his opponent lost 3 times as much.
Indeed, and it looks like Cezanne actually still is not aware of the space. If he looks very closely, you can see minerals mining at certain moments.
Don't think that he realized that so
I don't think so, yeah, you're exactly right.
He has a third base, as you mentioned, at the bottom right.
3 factories on the way for Boxer, so he's going to go up to 5 factories on 3 bases, going into mech play from here, but still continuing to add in the Marines for that extra DPS. I really like that. Right now, as far as upgrades go, Boxer 0-0 for his infantry, but +1 on the way.
The Mutalisks will scout the third, though. Oh, actually, he is going to the middle of the map again, trying to clear the units at Xel'Naga Watchtower. Will he go to the right side of the map and spot that expansion? There are 3 missile turrets already.
Okay, he just moved his Overlord, actually, does see it.
He finally scouted that base, but it's too late. It's safe.
When he moved his Overlord, he moved it close enough to where Boxer could also see it, so he saw that it was scouted. He moved his units into position to defend. And Boxer's got a decent amount of units at his natural as well as a bunker, so he should be fine here. Ooh, interestingly, Boxer going for... Hold that thought.
Going for heavy mech there. We have a nice volley onto those Mutalisks. And he's just getting more and more Mutalisks and tries to get the Baneling speed. He's relying on Muta, Ling, and Baneling against Blue Flame Hellions. This looks a little bit weird. We have 4 Blue Flame Hellions, and Boxer, upon realizing what unit composition his opponent is using, is getting more and more Hellions.
Yeah, and +1 armor plating on the way for Boxer now, as he does get that second armor. He's also getting +2 for his vehicle weapons. He may want to raise these depots.
Ooh! That was close.
Yeah, a little bit of hesitation from Cezanne. Could have gotten in there.
Yeah, I feel like Boxer didn't pay attention to his Wallen. Might have had a shot right there.
Interestingly, Boxer with 2 factories with the reactors, so he's continuing to make those Blue Flame Hellions in such a high number, and Cezanne is just trying to deal with this. With Zerglings, he's not made a Roach Warren. The most important structure most Zerg players would argue against this type of composition is a Roach Warren, and he is just not making that.
I was wondering about that myself. If you have enough Mutalisks, you can deal with Thors. The main problem is it's not only Thors. He has 24 Marines as well, and the amount of Thors will increase over the next minutes. Mutalisks just won't be enough, even with the +1 armor upgrade that he's researching right now. He won't be able to stop that.
Boxer is not making tanks because he doesn't need to. He knows there's no roaches in this composition. He is getting siege mode for the possibility of a switch, but he doesn't need any tanks right now, and he knows that. He's like, well, for some reason, you're just not making any roaches.
Danger to that composition are the Banelings. If the Banelings connect with the Hellions and the Marines, the Mutalisks will be able to magic box the Thors. But right now, oh, he's trying to flank him. He's setting up a force behind Boxer. He is attacking him from 2 sides. That might actually work. That's a lot of Mutalisks and, of course, Banelings magic boxing the first Thor. Boxer is losing a lot now. Cezanne pulling ahead in supply. Boxer down to 140 against 170.
Yeah, this attack was completely shut down, and he keeps the base alive.
That was exactly what we talked about. You can counter the Thors if you have enough Mutalisks, and Boxer didn't use all of the Thors. The Marines were occupied dodging the Lings and Banelings, and Cezanne capitalized on that fact.
Oh, no +2 just yet, but about to have +2. Those Mutas have to be very careful. Nice control by Boxer with these Hellions, scanning ahead to see if he can continue to chase, picking off a few Banelings.
Finally reaching creep, getting that speed advantage, and therefore able to outrun the Hellions. But for a second, I really thought he would lose all of them.
Yeah, I thought as well, man. That was a pretty close call. But Cezanne now taking the right side base, a very smart location to take, considering it's close to his other bases, means he can defend it much more easily. And
Plus
10 more Banelings on the way.
+3 being researched for Boxer. He's getting 3 additional Thors. He will be at 9 Thors. He's focusing now on Thor Hellion as he realizes that his opponent is still not getting roaches.
Yeah, it looks like Cezanne with a very high number of Mutas. He's going to have 30 in total with these next 3 that come out. He's just going to have Muta dominance. He's going to be able to destroy anything he encounters as long as he can avoid the Thors correctly.
But we have no Marines for Boxer, so if he keeps the Thors at the front and just makes sure that his Hellions survive the first attack of Cezanne, he should be able to kill most of the army of his opponent. His unit composition is just working in his favor now.
Definitely so. Boxer leaving a lot of Thors back at home to defend against any Muta flybys. This could be quite devastating if Cezanne does not notice. And oh no, Boxer could trap the Mutas with Thors on both sides.
30 Mutalisks that try to get into the base, but Boxer is defending with the turrets and the Thors, but the main base, he is helpless in the main base trying to take down the armory. The armory's gone. No more Thors for Boxer.
He has 2 armories though, and the second armory has got the +3 for the Thors. Very important.
You're perfectly right about that, Wolf. He has 2 armories, so still able to get Thors, and another volley hits the Mutalisk, kills a few of them.
The Mutas literally escaped. He's got about
12. Sorry, not the Mutalisk. I was about referring to the Thors. He has 12 Thors.
Yeah, and about 24 Mutas out right now, 12 Thors, so that's a pretty good ratio for Boxer. Boxer maxed out right now. There are 33 Banelings being morphed right now. It's going to give him a total of about 67, yeah. But with good Hellion control and Thor splitting, he will be okay. It's just the Banelings, if they connect, will be enough, and Cezanne can just continue to remax, continue to remake them.
Does Boxer, how many armor upgrades does Boxer have? I know he researched
He has +1. He almost had +2, but the Thor armory was killed.
Killed the armory with a +1 armor. That might play a huge role in the next encounter. The Banelings, how much damage can they deal to that army? And is he about to engage? He's picking off the tanks, and this is it. The Hellions in the back trying to take down the Banelings. Both of them dropping in supply, but Cezanne getting the worst of it. Is he able to kill the Thors though? No, he's not. Yes, no. Just not able to kill the Mutalisks. The Thors. Only 2 survive, and only with a few hit points.
Yeah, imagine if Boxer had split his Thors even a little bit better though, how well that engagement would have gone for him. But the supply very similar now.
But, well, that's thanks to the Zerglings. He just built 60 of them, and as long as he's not able to surround the Hellions, they should take down those Zerglings.
Yeah, right now the upgrades are +3 and +1 plating for Boxer's mech units. The Carapace is at level 1. Its level 2 is on the way. The Zerglings have level 2 weapons, but +2 armor is on the way for Slayer's Boxer now, making 3 Thors at a time, repairing all of his injured Thors and Hellions from earlier. Not fully repairing them though. As you can see, some Hellions actually going to try to run in here, but unfortunately for Boxer, he was denied. Whoa, a huge swipe there on all those Zerglings.
Oh, not microing perfectly. He's getting trapped and taken apart by Mutalisks and Zerglings as well. Boxer playing a lot more cost efficient than his opponent. He lost 15,000 resources, while Cezanne already lost 20,000, but still they are tight in supply. More and more Thors and Hellions for Boxer, getting the +2 armor upgrade. He's on +3 attack.
Yeah, I mean, he is making another killer composition, but I feel like right now Cezanne, he's got fairly even income. If he just wins one fight, he's going to be able to remake his units much more quickly.
The thing is that Cezanne this time doesn't have the Banelings.
That's very true.
He does not have the resources to get 60 Banelings once again.
So many turrets here, but it looks like the mutas are going to be enough.
He's taking them down one by one. It's too many, though. I would like Boxer to research the range upgrade for the turrets, to be honest.
I would like to see Boxer research 250mm strike cannons with 9 Thors on the field.
That would be something. He's targeting down his opponents. Spine crawlers now.
And the depot's raised in time here, but not a ton of defense. Muta's just the right amount of Thors popping out.
One volley. That's all he can shoot at the Mutalists. Cezanne is going to lose that base at the left side of the map.
Yeah, there's no way you can defend it. Even if he tries to magic box these Thors, there's so many turrets going up around them as well, and tons of repairing SCBs around. Even having Hellions to deal with possible Zerglings. Cezanne in a tough spot, and he's just never been able to kill all of Boxer's army. If he could do that just one time, his production would be so much better. He'd be able to win the game, but he just cannot do it.
That positioning is just beautiful for Boxer, taking down everything except the drones.
Yeah, not looking good for Cezanne. As he lost that hatchery, Boxer losing no resources basically with that trade.
It's just to make sure that he is in a good position as soon as that fight approaches. We have more and more Thors at the back, trapped behind that wall in. The Thor dance. I would love to see slash dance on Thors.
Oh, you actually can.
You can?
Yeah, you can slash dance Thors. It's actually a common strategy. I started calling it T-gunning the Thor. When you neural parasite a Thor, if you type slash dance, it continues to dance even after it's lost control by the neural parasite.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, T-gun does it a lot.
Awesome.
Cezanne still has a decent amount of mutas, and when I say decent, I mean 35.
22 banelings now, morphed by the way. Just
nice,
as a side note.
Nice Thor splitting by Boxer here, and he's going to slowly start creeping towards that base.
He's magic boxing the Mutalisks.
He may very well be able to do that pretty soon. The Thors creeping ever so close to that hatchery, can fall back to the rest of his Thors. He's even making turrets here. He's getting building armor for his turrets as well.
And he's engaging, but look, they are actually clustering way too much. He's losing a lot of them, trying to magic box, but getting that's too much damage. Getting way too much damage right here.
There's 16 Thors out right now. He just cannot defeat the Thors. You know what? It would have been nice to see, like I said time and time again, is roaches. You know, you could use the roaches to surround the Thors. If you get a better concave when the when the Thor count is quite low, you know, you can keep that Thor count low, continue to trade with your roaches, but mutas are just not going to be able to engage us, nor are the banelings.
At that point in time, you need Broodlords.
Yeah, Broodlords as well would be quite good.
At this point in time, I mean, 27 minutes into the game and he doesn't even have the high tech. He could never switch his tech. There was this huge problem. And without Broodlords, this amount of Thors...
The Boxer has quite literally covered all his bases as well. Every time the mutas try to run by, he's got Thors to his natural. He's got about 8 turrets at each base that he owns.
He just has the superior macro play.
Yeah, really good macro. Really nice multitasking, defending everything, and Cezanne is just, he's down 60 supply now, 3 more Thors on the way to max Boxer out to put him at 18 Thors. Magic Box goes on here, but plus 3 Thors just do not really care that much about it.
He will be able to kill those 2, but he will lose Mutalisk, and he can't afford to do that now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the minerals. He has enough gas, but not the minerals to do it.
Definitely not enough minerals. He's actually not mining at all right now, really, from any of his bases. He's long-distance mining only. His natural is basically mined out.
Boxer's making sure that he doesn't get another base. Cezanne, that is.
Very true.
12.
Boxer himself actually going to take another base.
He has 12 Thors as far as I can tell, and he's getting more and more, 15 now even. Fully upgraded.
This is like what I used to watch in the beta when like people were figuring out how good units were and what units were good. And it's just making a lot of Thors seems to be good in this matchup. When you have, once the Thor count gets this high, it's just out of control. There is no answer.
Does he have plus 3 armor? No, he does not.
2 just finished. He's going to get 3 soon, I would assume. He has enough resources.
Building more missile turrets everywhere now. He knows about his opponent's movements, and he's playing that safe. He's playing it safe now because he knows he needs to win. He is not allowed to slip in this game, but we have Box on 200 supply, 136 for Cezanne.
Cezanne, who is long distance mining from the bottom right base.
That's 1 long distance mining.
And if any Hellions find that, I can guarantee you they'll be quite happy.
Then we'll see the Hellion dance.
Well, right now, Boxer Still with a very large army. He's very passive right now, not moving out, just playing very defensively. But Cezanne finally has 300 minerals he can put into a hatchery. But it's not even done yet, and Boxer actually should probably start trading at this point. He's making siege tanks, interestingly enough.
And the starport. That's interesting.
That is very interesting indeed. I wonder what it's for.
Don't get me wrong, I would love a fusion core. Maybe it's just preparing for the possibility of Brood Lords.
Possibly a Raven as well. He might actually make a Raven to start clearing up some of this creep every time he pushes out, because that's one thing his opponent has against him right now, is that creep spread.
I would love it.
I would like to see that. Well, either way, Boxer's maxed out. He's not really engaged. Finally starting to. The Zergling's coming down here, but the Hellions in a really nice spot.
And
nice splitting up the Thors.
Nice. Well done. The Banelings are just killing a few Thors, but that's it. Nice split by Boxer. GG. Cezanne is down to 60 supply. Boxer didn't lose anything at all in that fight.
No, he did not. And Boxer,
he's happy.
He's very happy, of course. And beating Cezanne means that now it's, you know, he's not in Code S. It's up to Tasia. If Tasia wins, Boxer is in Code S. And if ASD wins, then of course he is in Code S. No way for Tasia to be in Code S, but he's got to fight here to, you know, if he wins, it's actually a really cool situation with how it turns out, because Boxer, of course, is his teammate. So even though if he wins, he doesn't get into Code S, he has a very strong incentive to get his teammate into Code S. So I really like how the group drama kind of played out in that regard.
Just afraid of what happens when he loses. No food for you today, son.
I don't know.
You better win.
I don't know if that'll happen, but I guess it's possible if Boxer was a cruel emperor.
Nah, I think he's a good emperor.
He is a good emperor. He's a kind and intelligent emperor. He knows that if he denied food to his players, the morale would go down. But he might raise the taxes, though, in the team house.
The Slayers team is one of those teams. They have a really, really fixed routine. I was talking to them quite often, and I was told that they go for a run every morning at, I'm not quite sure if it was 7 or 8 o'clock, and Boxer is actually the one setting the pace every single time, which is pretty cool.
That is really impressive. I did not know that about their team practice.
You would think that Slayer's Boxer might maybe a little bit like, yeah, I don't have to do that. I'm already kind of famous, and I'm the big boss right here. But he's the one who goes up, who wakes up every morning quite early, sets the pace when they go for a run, and that's pretty cool.
That is awesome. I actually was not aware of that. That's a really cool fact. I'm glad you told me that.
And there they are. Match 15 for the day. Antigua Shipyard will be the map where we will see a Terran versus Terran between Tasia and ASD. Slayers Boxer will watch his protege closely.
Yes, of course. Boxer, of course, very, very intent on Tasia winning this game. ASD, he's got one win left to get if he wants to be in Code S. Only one of these two will advance. Who will it be? Will it be Tasia or ASD? This is the GSL up and down matches. I am Wolf. With me is Kaldor, and you, the viewer, don't go anywhere.